Hey guys, so it's well, no, it's not. It's Tuesday, the 23rd. I'm at a place called the Brooklyn Pub. Trying to watch a little bit of the baseball game. Anyway, it's Tuesday the 23rd, and a few things to talk about. My plans for tomorrow. I think tomorrow I'm going to be hitting the Beverly Hills, Hollywood area to share some of that not spectator stuff. What am I trying to say? Tourist kind of stuff with you guys. And then Thursday, I head down to the airport and me and Jamie and rest in LA. We're heading out Friday. So that's a little bit of an update. Today was an interesting day for sure. Excuse me. First thing I want to do is I just spoke to my kids, and I have a really nice, heartwarming story for you. And it's something simple, how a little thing goes a long way. My oldest, Grace, she was at the Giant supermarket waiting to pay at the cashier, the belt there, and the cashier asked the lady if that was it, and she said, yeah, that's it for me, but you know what, I'll pay for hers too. And she paid for Grace's stuff as well. So Grace couldn't believe it, and the impact it had on a 17-year-old kid is hopefully the kind of thing that will pay forward time and time again. So thank you to that person, I believe it was a woman, at Giant in Manchester, Pennsylvania, that reached out and offered to pay for my daughter's stuff today. It means a whole lot to me and meant a whole lot to her that she couldn't wait to tell me, so I'd share it with you guys. Earlier today, a couple of cool things. One is I volunteered some time today at a shelter, a homeless or a mission in Los Angeles at 16th Gladys with a Catholic mission. And first of all, to all the people that volunteer their time, you're amazing, amazing folks. And to all you people throughout the country that do this on a regular basis, you people are amazing. The dignity and respect that you share with these homeless folks is phenomenal. And to give them a place where they can go and feel like they're not being judged or lesser of a person than anybody else is really a miracle. People have a hard time feeling like they're judged, and yet these folks are made to feel like they're not just peers, but almost elevated to special. And just amazing to watch these people give selflessly. I did it for 6 hours in one time, and these people do it 3 times a week, every week. Just an amazing thing. So one of the the few different observations I have about it was certainly some of these people that are homeless are homeless. There's varying degrees and varying reasons why these folks are in that state. There were several that I saw that, quite frankly, mentally they're just not there. I mean really not there. And I don't know how they got to that place. I don't know what they tried to do, whether it be the government, their families, whatever tried to help. I don't know if it was just a mental illness, if it was some addiction, whatever, but there's a group of folks that are just so far gone. At one point I was walking around pouring waters for people, and I don't want to say couldn't make eye contact, but it was not making eye contact, not enunciating, not speaking. And for those folks, it's really sad because there is, maybe it's wrong for me to say, but there's very little hope for that group. There's a whole nother group, it's a wide group with people that are in a bad way. They don't want to be there, but the sweetest, politest, well-mannered group of folks I've seen. These folks are more well-mannered and polite when they have every reason to probably be bitter and angry and pointing the finger, and nothing but polite. And I just looked around going, in my everyday life, I don't experience this kind of gratitude, appreciation, civility, decency. It was really remarkable. And then there were a few folks that were, one gentleman I'll never forget, speak with Alfred. Alfred was there. He'd been an addict many years back, and he got clean, and he was clean for about 11 years. And I asked him what triggered him. He was actually a mental health counselor for the state of California, maybe even the county of Los Angeles, I'm not sure. But I asked him what triggered it, what happened. And he had a stepmom, and Alfred wasn't an old man by any means. But he had some back pain, and his stepmom gave him a pain reliever, a painkiller or something, that he took. She's like, "Yeah, this will help you." And I'm sure she had the best of intention when she gave it to him. But to an addict, that numb, that high, that feeling made him feel, I gotta get another one of those. And almost immediately, he was hooked again and went back down this path. So he was trying to rebound again, trying to get clean again. And it just struck me as odd that a family member, I'm sure trying to help, forgive me, while police or fire, looks like I did fire trucks, maybe an ambulance, let's see. Ambulance and fire truck. Anyway, it struck me that how careful and sensitive we need to be around addicts. This person tried to help him, relieve him of his pain, and it was that little bit of a numb high that he got that he said, "Man, I crave that." And he went and made it happen again. So, you know, it was interesting to see, you said 3 levels of people reaching out in this program. There were some that, you know, I'm no certified person to diagnose anything, but they're so far gone, I don't know how they would get help. I don't think they could communicate to somebody to get the help. And there was this vast majority in the middle that was, you know, I don't think they want to be where they are. It's just sad. And then there was this group in the bottom, there's another small percentage of these people that you can see that they have the ability and want to not be there, want to be clean. And believe me, not everybody there was an addict by any means by implying that, but they just want to not be there, and they're taking strides. But, you know, once you have a few strikes against you, it's very hard in our society to get past those things. So Alfred was one of those people, and it was just very emotional for me to be part of, and for this group of folks led by a gentleman named Matt, who was just phenomenal. The way he ran this team, he could be a supervisor in any distribution center in the country and run a team and just be dynamite. He was that good, and the people were that wonderful to be around. So some people, after I posted some videos, shared some comments that we don't appreciate what we have, and we really don't. And take a look at some of the videos I posted today. I mean, the streets, I couldn't walk on the sidewalk. They were lined with tents of just homeless people. You know, when I walked in the street, I didn't have a fear in the world. Not one person approached me. One person approached me for money, which I had none. And I said, "I'm sorry, I don't have any. I'm basically homeless just like you." And she got offended. She said, "I'm not homeless." Okay, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to offend you. I just assumed, I don't know. And there were a few folks that were cursing and screaming and hollering and back and forth across the street at each other. I guess just like neighbors would be. But it was definitely eye-opening. But the thing I think that struck me the most of all, I shared on my video, was at least 3 times I walked down the street, about 6 or 7 blocks. And I mean, every block is lined with homeless people. Not one of them said a disparaging comment. Not one of them tried to approach me for money, except for this one young lady. Not one of them tried to do anything at all in a negative way. They didn't welcome me, and we didn't sit down and have conversations, but you know, basically they just kept to themselves and just wanted to go about their day. But to think that it was this prevalent, and I know it's out in the West Coast where it's warmer, so it's going to be more here than, you know, East Coast, but as I've said to you before, if you've been following me, one of the highest points of my Christmas week is that I take my kids and their mom to a Broadway play, but to do so they need to pack 5 bag lunches to get to the homeless, and they get exposed to it. And if I take this trip through with my kids again, I'd like to walk down 6th Street with them and have them see, maybe appreciate at a young age, what life is all about, the struggles that people have, what bad decisions can lead to. It's kind of crazy. So after that, I'm out of it now, but for some reason, I don't know why. Maybe it's because it was, maybe because I really like the movie Straight Outta Compton. Maybe because I find it fascinating when people tell a story about how they feel and get chastised for it. Kind of like NWA did, kind of like Eminem did for a while. But you listen to the lyrics, I go rap way back to the early 70s when it started with Grandmaster Flash, and there's a song called, oh dear Lord, I'll think of it and let you know. Not the Jungle. Anyway, but if you listen to the lyrics, this is the life that people in the inner city live, and it was, so anyway, I went to Compton today, and I took a picture of Compton Boulevard. I don't know if I posted on the website yet or not. If I didn't, I will. But I wanted to be able to experience it. We hear these horror stories because of riots. The same way I heard about Ferguson, and I went to Ferguson, Missouri, and thought I was going to see this town in upheaval, and one side versus the other. And you know what? It was just an ordinary town with some good people and some not so good people, and everybody was functioning and getting along just fine. And I went to Compton not knowing what to expect, but we know that it's a tough lifestyle there. We know that there were riots in the Watts section years ago. I think when the Rodney King verdict came down. But I walked into a CVS, I walked through a shopping center, I walked through town. Not a soul bothered me, threatened me. I think sometimes we build this stuff up in our minds. There's bad everywhere. And I think sometimes we build up by reputation false, not expectations, but false senses of a town. I'm in a town, I forget what it's called right now. I forget what it's called. Not Grenada. It's not Grenada. Anyway, it's a town about 5 miles, maybe not even 5 miles, 3 miles west. The sun's starting to go down west of Compton. But I'll tell you what, if you didn't see Compton on the street sign, I would have driven through it, or, been right there as if you would go right through it like any other town. You wouldn't even know. So, anyway, that's all I can really tell you guys about today. It's interesting. Southern California has definitely been interesting for me. And that's about it, guys. So I love you all. We're only a few days away from finishing this. To those of you that have supported me, again, I'll thank you. I'll keep thanking you. I love you for it. I appreciate everything you guys have done. And just be there for me at the end when we're done with this. And we'll tell a really good story. There's a lot to pull from this. And thank you all for it. Love you all. Take care.